9 antiquated weapons used in the Russo-Ukrainian War. Europe's biggest war since 1945 is raging on. Like any war, it brings suffering and devastation, and it also results in huge equipment losses. That's why obsolete and retired weapons are used by both sides. Of course, some of them are still pretty capable. Others are museum pieces with little military value. Let's take a look at them, starting with the newest ones. 1. RPG-7, 1961. This is a Soviet rocket-propelled grenade launcher. It was the second weapon of this type, designed in the Soviet Union. However, it's still considered defective. Several M1A2 Abrams were disabled by RPG-7s in Afghanistan. Both Russia and Ukraine field several variants of the weapon. 2. T-62, 1961. This is a Soviet main battle tank. It was considered a failed design, even when it was introduced. Thus, the tank was officially replaced by the T-72 in the 1970s. However, the Soviet Union still used T-62s in Afghanistan. Russia has lost too many MBDs in Ukraine, so they've pulled 1,000 T-62s out of storage. 3. 100mm field gun in 1944, also known as the BS-3. This is an ancient Soviet anti-tank gun. It was used in World War II and retired in the 1950s. Some guns were mothballed in Ukraine. Since 2014, they've been used by both Ukrainians and Russian separatists. 4. PPSH-41, 1941. This Soviet submachine gun was retired in the 1960s. It was used by the Red Army in World War II, but it's still used by Russian separatist forces in Donbass. They also used the PPS-43, a similar weapon from 1943. 5. MP-40, 1938. This German submachine gun was widely used by the Axis powers. Huge stocks of MP-40s were left after the war. They were used by various Third World paramilitary units. Early in the war, some Ukrainian volunteers also used these guns. 6. 82 BM-37, 1937. The Soviet 82mm mortar was used in World War II. It's based on an even older French brand, MLE-2731 mortar, yet it's still used by Russian separatists in Donetsk. Russia itself prefers to keep it in museums. 7. DP-27, 1927. The DP was the standard light machine gun in the Red Army until 1946. The gun was notorious for overheating, yet it's been widely used by guerrillas, from the Viet Cong to the Taliban. Some variants were used by Ukrainian volunteers. Ukrainians even modified them with scopes and suppressors. 8. Mosin Nagant, 1891. The 3-line M1891 is a bolt-action rifle. You've probably seen it in World War II movies. The gun was later used by the Viet Cong. Today it's considered an obsolete antique. Russia mostly uses it as a ceremonial weapon, yet some Russian units were spotted with Mosin rifles back in March. 9. Maxim gun, 1884. This was the world's first fully automatic machine gun. The Maxim was widely used in the colonial conquest of Africa. It survived well into World War II. Somehow, both Russians and Ukrainians still use it in 2022. PM M1910, a Russian version from 1910, is especially popular. The gun is prized for its water-cooled barrel,